Hey there, this is Ocain from Airiam. We hope you've been enjoying our podcast with experts in the field and also with guests sharing their own stories of resilience. We're dedicated to helping organizations become resilient, not only in cybersecurity and IT, but also in human resiliency. Because of this, we're excited to introduce our new mini podcast series, Tips for Human Resilience, that will alternate with our normal regular podcasts to ensure the best quality content for you. Without further ado, here's our first mini episode.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Tips for Human Resilience. While our regular podcast covers topics related to cyber and human resilience, our Tips for Human Resilience is focused on helping leaders in the workforce help their organizations. My name is Ocain, and I'm the field CISO at Airiam. Today's episode is focused on positivity in the workplace. Let's dive in. Positive workplace cultures are essential for individual well-being, organizational performance, and overall quality of work. A positive workplace fosters a sense of belonging, connection, and fulfillment among employees. Think about those times you've worked for a company and actually wanted to go to work and wanted to be around your coworkers and felt like a team that was accomplishing something together. You felt like you belonged and you were connecting with everyone in the company. That's the kind of culture that it's really important to build these days. That kind of culture helps improve communication, collaboration, and innovation within your team. On the other hand, without a positive workplace culture, organizations may see a loss of productivity, performance, and quality of work. It leads to low morale, high turnover, and poor organizational performance. That's the culture where people are always looking for their next role. They don't really feel like they belong. They resent working there. They don't want to go to work in the morning. That's the kind of culture we want to get rid of and replace with this positive culture. Fortunately, today's workplace culture is shifting towards a more balanced approach that focuses on both work and home life. Today's workforce values a culture that recognizes the importance of work-life balance, employee well-being, and mental health. Leaders are more cognizant than ever about recognizing and hearing their employees, whether they're giving feedback about the good things or the bad things in their work and home lives. This listening to your team and listening to the people in your company is a great way to avoid toxic positivity. Let's shift for a moment to that idea of toxic positivity. There's a lot of it these days. Everyone's trying so hard to push to be positive. A lot of people are forgetting that suffering is real. There's definitely a balance when you're managing your team. It's important to have a positive outlook on life, but don't forget to acknowledge and support your team through the difficult times too. When they're struggling, when they're running up to boundaries and barriers and obstacles, it's important to be a cheerleader, yes, but it's also important to empathize with them and recognize where they are and the real struggle that they're dealing with, whether it's at work or at home. That forever cheerleader mentality can make people not want to work with you because you're not real, you're not authentic, and you're not really listening to them. So let's go back to leadership and team dynamics. A positive leader that recognizes employees, encourages them, and focuses on their strengths can lead to better engagement, performance, and productivity. Leaders who cultivate a positive workplace culture create a sense of purpose and meaning among employees. Those are the teams that everybody wants to be on. Those are the teams that always succeed. And it's not because of all the individual contributors individually. It's because the leader is able to build create that sense of purpose and meaning among the employees. The leader is able to cultivate that so that the team actually works together to be more. They also create a safe environment for individuals to speak up, take risks, and grow. This psychological safety is kind of a new idea in the last 5-10 years, especially in management of small and medium-sized businesses. But Google came up with that psychological safety, and they made a big campaign around it for the people at Google. They understood that in order to perform well, people need to be able to feel safe about giving feedback. They need to feel safe about taking risks. How are you going to innovate if people don't feel safe to take risks? Creating a blameless culture and a safe culture where people can speak and give feedback and receive feedback and not worry about getting fired, getting yelled at, getting blamed for failure. Give people an environment where they're able to speak and know that they're being listened to and not criticized. This allows an open mind for that constructive criticism and will allow your whole organization to thrive. In conclusion, creating a positive workplace culture is essential for the well-being of individuals and for the overall performance of your organization. It's crucial to cultivate a culture that values work-life balance, employee well-being, and mental health. Positive leadership, team dynamics, and open communication are key to creating a culture of positivity and growth. So let's wrap this up by breaking it into some easy action steps for you to work on in your organization's workplace culture. First of all, as a leader, lead by example. It's important to model positive behavior and attitudes. This means being respectful, showing empathy, and recognizing the strengths and contributions of your team members. Encourage open communication. Encourage your team members to share their thoughts, concerns, and ideas openly. Don't just encourage them to speak, though. Make sure that you're actively listening and responding with empathy and understanding. Really think about what they're saying. Don't get your response in your head before they're done speaking. Don't start responding either emotionally or don't start responding either emotionally or logically without listening to them. Make sure that you're giving them their time of day and that they know that you're listening and understanding. Foster a sense of community. Get your team members to connect, build relationships with one another. Team building activities, social events, or even something as simple as celebrating a birthday or a work anniversary. It's a great way to connect. Provide regular feedback. Regular feedback is essential for growth and development. Make sure to provide both positive and constructive criticism in a timely and respectful manner. And recognize and reward hard work. Recognize and reward your team members for their hard work and achievements. This can be done through verbal praise, promotions, bonuses, or other incentives. You're trying to give that extrinsic motivation to your team through that recognition. Make sure that you're spending the effort to recognize people and not hogging the glory for yourself as a leader, as an executive, as a manager. do everything you can to share that glory with the rest of your team. All right. I hope you enjoyed our podcast today. Please subscribe to this podcast on whatever platform you're listening to. New episodes usually come out every other Wednesday. For more information on Airiam, open your web browser and go to www.airiam.com.